For BWYellowJackets.com, I'm Brendan Gulick. Let's get you ready for this week in BW Athletics. And it's an important week, especially at the beginning of the season for lots of our winter sport teams. And very much looking forward to seeing everybody get off to a good start. Let's go sport by sport instead of day by day. It begins with the wrestling team tonight. They've got a really important matchup. They wrestled at Mount Union a couple years ago. Had Mount Union at home last year, and the timing of the meet was at the end of the year, and it basically worked out as a de facto OAC championship wrestling match. Well, this year, the Purple Raiders are hosting the Yellow Jackets, and they're hosting them tonight. That will be at 7 o'clock tonight, and then the wrestling team will compete again on Saturday in the BW Invitational. But tonight is huge for a Yellow Jacket team that is trying to win their fourth consecutive OAC championship in wrestling. Big one tonight for those guys. Good luck to them. The swimming and diving teams at the Diamond City Invitational, they'll be in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. That's on Saturday and Sunday. They'll start swimming and diving at 10 o'clock both days. Good luck to them. The cross-country team, we'll do an entirely separate preview on the women's side, but an incredible weekend last weekend for those ladies. They won the Great Lakes Regional Championship, and so they are going to the National Championships this weekend up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's the first time they have been in the national meet since 2009. Really looking forward to seeing what those ladies can do after they've never before won the regional championship. All 5 runners for BW last week finished in the top 35, and that qualifies for all-region status. So good luck to them this weekend. They will compete on Saturday in the national championships. Also, a shout-out to the men's team. They are not running this weekend, but they had a 9th place finish last week. That's their best finish since 2000. So a great season for the men's cross-country group as well, and hopefully they can make that a really good feeder into next season and certainly into the track season this year. Let's go to the basketball side, because the basketball seasons are now very much here. The men's basketball team has already played one game. They beat Alfred State 85-52 to get off to a good start on the season. They've got an important weekend in front of them. They're going to play Cabrini, who is a team from Radnor, Pennsylvania. Cabrini last year lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament. They went 25-4, and it's a slightly different looking team this year, so not entirely sure how good or how much Cabrini has lost, but almost always they are a factor in the national conversation. In 2011-2012, Cabrini actually led the national championship game by 18 points in the second half and ended up losing the game to Wisconsin Whitewater. So this is a program that has consistently succeeded. They averaged almost 26 wins per year over a 6-year stretch. They are always at least a competitive team, and certainly looking forward to seeing the Yellow Jackets play against Cabrini. That'll be on Friday. They'll play Cabrini up at Rochester. Also, Cabrini last year, they were the conference champion in the Colonial States Athletic Conference, a conference that's got some pretty good competition. Newman and Gwinnett Mercy both also won 20 games in that league a year ago. So the Yellow Jackets on the men's side will play Cabrini on Friday. Saturday, they don't know yet. They will play either the host Rochester Yellow Jackets or a team called Houghton. Houghton is very new to the Division III college basketball season, or I should say scene. This is only their 7th season with a team. Rochester, on the other hand, boy, that's a different story. The Rochester Yellow Jackets are unbelievably good almost every year. They're a deep run tournament team. A couple years ago, they lost to the number 1 team in the country, Whitman, after beating Marietta, of course an OAC foe. They beat Marietta at Marietta in the Sweet 16, so they lost in the Elite 8 to the number 1 team in the nation. It was the 6th time in program history they've gone to the national quarterfinals. So Rochester has a long success history of going deep into the tournament. So if the Yellow Jackets were to play both Cabrini and Rochester, neither of those teams are in the region, but boy, that would look really good on their schedule for playing a high strength of schedule, and those things matter when it comes to deciding NCAA tournament teams at the end of the year. They'll play at either 2 or 4 on Saturday after Friday's game against Cabrini. The women's basketball team has a busy week. They open their season tonight at St. Vincent. They'll play at 5:30 tonight over in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. St. Vincent last year 14-4 in their league, And 2 of those 4 losses came to Thomas More, who made a run all the way to the national championships last year. St. Vincent went 19-10 a year ago, so a good team. The Yellow Jackets actually beat them. You might remember it in the opener last year. 69-62 was the final. So good luck to the Yellow Jacket ladies. They're going to get their season going tonight on the road. Those same ladies will also be up in Rochester this weekend. They are going to play the Rochester Yellow Jackets, who last year went 24-5, and they lost to the 2-time defending national champion Amherst in the Elite 8 round last basketball tournament. This is a team that's very, very good every season. So a huge game for the Yellow Jackets on Friday against Amherst. And then on Saturday, they already know their opponent. They're going to play Babson. Babson is another team nationally recognized for how impressive they've been. They're from the Northeast region. Babson, if you're not familiar with the school, they're from Massachusetts. They play in the New England Women and Men's Athletic Conference, pretty commonly called the NUMAC. It's a great league. 5 teams in that league last year won at least 18 games. And so the Yellow Jackets know they're going to have to really bring it if they're going to play against a really good Babson Beavers team. Babson was a co-champion last year with Smith and WPI, and Babson has won 20 games or more 8 times in the last 10 years, including a 30-1 campaign when they were knocked out just before the Final Four in 2010-2011. So a 6 o'clock matchup on Saturday against Babson is a huge game coming for the Yellow Jacket ladies. So wrestling, swimming, and diving, cross country, and both basketball teams will compete all this week. Of course, we'll have everything you need to follow those teams along the way, whether it's live stats, live video links from games that are off campus, and certainly the recaps posted as well. Until next time, I'm Brendan Gulick. We'll see you soon here in Berea, and that's it for BWYellowJackets.com.